Good afternoon to all of you. Today we are going to see the normal flora of the human body. This will be the second part that is associated with normal flora. And the normal flora of the human body, in the previous chapter, we have seen what is the normal flora, why the normal flora is said to be important. Some organisms which are there in the normal flora are said to be pathogenic. And let us understand a little bit deeper in terms of the normal flora of the human body. Now, where we can find the normal flora. This is one of the important points that is associated. So, the normal flora is associated here, wherein it may be in the mouth, conjunctiva, that is eye, scratch or injuries, arthropod, insect that has been bitten inside the capillary, skin, anus, alimentary canal, urinogenital tract, and respiratory tract. These are the specific sites in which the colonization of the normal flora takes place. Now, moving further. Now, colonization and infection frequently begins at the mucous membrane. Generally, when the mucous membrane is there, the infection would start. These are found throughout the body, consisting of a single and multiple layers of epithelial cells. Basically, the epithelial cells are correct. Now you can see the microbial cells. These are epithelial cells. They are sitting on the epithelial cells. Since this area here, it is mucous membrane, and a lot of mucus is there. Therefore, the bacteria grabs itself onto this mucous membrane, and then it travels down and generate a pathogenesis type of reactions. Now, the normal flow of the respiratory tract. See here, from the respiratory tract, where you can see the organisms. Here, you can see the nasal entrance is here. This is the sinus, the upper portion. Nasal cavity. This is the nasal cavity wherein the bacteria can survive. Internal nares, soft palate, nasopharynx. You can see this nasopharynx wherein the mouth and the nose are being joined. Epiglottis. This is the section where the main trachea has been starts from this particular side. This is the trachea down. Larynx, which wherein your vocal cord is there, and the bronchus. From this bronchus, these are small vacuoles are called as bronchioli. So the normal flora resides in all these kind of things that are associated with it. Okay. Now, moving further. Now, E. coli, how E. coli actually infects or resides inside the human body. E. coli is the best known bacteria that regularly associated itself with humans, being in an invariable component of the human intestinal tract. Basically, the E. coli lives inside the intestinal tract. Even though E. coli is the most studied of all bacteria, and we know the exact location and sequence of 4 to 88 genes on its chromosome, we do not fully understand the ecological relationship. Now, some bacteria are there which are said to be common cells. Now, what are the common cells? Sometimes the relationship between a member of the normal flora of its host cannot be experienced. Such a relationship where there is no apparent benefits or harm to either organism during the association is called as commensal relationship. Means these bacteria are there which are said to be common cells. Means these reside inside the stomach or inside the gastrointestinal tract, but they do not harm the host as such. Now, much is not known about the association between the humans and the normal flora, but they are thought to be dynamic interaction rather than association of mutual indifference. Both host and bacteria are thought to derive benefits from each other, and the association are found as mutualistic. Now, mutualistic means what? The normal flora derived from the host are steady supply of nutrients, stable environment, and protection and transport. The host obtains the normal flora, certain nutritional and digestive benefit, stimulation of development and activity of the immune system protects against stress. Now, in the bottle feed infants, bifidobacteria are predominant, where breastfeed infants switch off their diet of cow's milk or solid milks, bifidobacteria progressively joined by. Now, which of the bacteria that comes through the milk? Enterics, bacteroids, Enterococci, lactobacilli, and Clostridium. These are all bacteria which actually starts to colonize after the birth of a human being. Functions and products of intestinal flora. Intestinal microbes carry out a variety of essential metabolic reactions that produces various compounds. Type and amount of procedures is influenced by the composition of intestinal flora and the diet. Compound produced included vitamin B12, K, and gas. So these, again, the development of the bacterial flora depends upon various different factors. You can see here, majority of the bacteria which have been present, lactobacilli inside the stomach, Enterococci and lactobacillites inside the duodenum and jejunum, and in the ileum and the colon, these bacteria are present. What are those? Enterobacteria, Enterococcus faecalis, bacteroids, Bifidobacterium, Eubacterium, Protococcus, Peptostreptococcus, Rhinococcus, Clostridium, and Bacillus. So large number of bacteria resides inside the colon, basically inside the large intestine. What are the large intestine? When we come in terms of large intestine, as we have already discussed this particular part, you can see inside the large intestine also, the colon and the appendix will certainly have maximum number of bacteria residing inside it. Now, inside the respiratory tract, inside the nostrils, so this is the part that is called as nostrils. Staphylococcus epidermidis, Corynebacterium, Staphylococcus aureus, Neisseria, Haemophilus species, and Streptococcus pneumoniae. Upper respiratory tract, the nasopharynx, non-hemolytic streptococci, alpha hemolytic streptococci, Neisseria, Streptococcus pneumoniae, Streptococcus pyogenes, Haemophilus influenzae, and Neisseria. So these are all organisms that are associated with the upper respiratory tract. The lower respiratory tract, that is trachea, bronchi, and the pulmonary part, are usually sterile. The individual may become susceptible to infection by pathogens descending from nasopharynx. So those pathogens which actually go from the nasopharynx, they reside inside the lower respiratory tract. Some of them are Haemophilus influenzae and Streptococcus pneumoniae. Now inside the oral cavity of the mouth, inside the teeth, Viridin streptococci, lactobacilli, Staphylococci, Staphylococcus aureus, and Staphylococcus epidermidis, Corynebacterium, bacteroids, Streptococcus sanguis, Streptococcus mutans, and actinomycetes are bacteria which reside inside the teeth or inside the cavity or the oral cavity. Now, sites of normal respiratory tract and head, outer ear, eye, mouth, oropharynx, nasopharynx. What are the sterile site? Sinus, the sinus, middle of the ear, brain, respiratory tract, trachea, bronchi. These are sterile sites where there will be no infection at all. Specifically, some specific bacteria are there which only can reside. Inside the gastrointestinal tract, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, genitourinary tract, anterior urethra, vagina, steroid slides, bladder, cervix, uterus, and skin. Now, opportunistic pathogen, especially in the host rendering susceptible by immunosuppressions, that is AIDS or SCID, radiation therapy and chemotherapy, perforated mucous membranes, and rheumatic arthritis. Means ultimately, the residing of the bacteria or the bacteria of the normal flora becoming pathogenic will depend upon these conditions. Means in a normal sense, they are very much normal, but under certain circumstances, these will become the specifically harmful to the bacteria, harmful to the host. What are the sterile tissues? Blood is one of the sterile tissues where the no bacteria can reside. Brain, muscle, cerebrospinal fluid are normally free of microorganisms. So microorganisms do not survive in it. Of course, blood acts as a mode of transport and it will transport those bacteria to specific sites. But as a normal flora, they constitute a protective host defense mechanism by occupied ecological niches. So they have various different functions that are associated, and these functions are generally associated with different organs of the immune system. Most important site, axilla, groin, areas between the toes. So these are most important sites that have been present. The oral flora contributes to immunity by including lower levels of circulating and secretory antibodies that may cross-react with pathogens. So inside the saliva itself, we have specific cells which actually are helpful for killing of the pathogens that come to the oral cavity. They can cause disease in the following: when individuals become immunocompressed or debilitated, when they change to their anatomic locations. So this is all that is associated with the number 4 of the human body. In the next lecture, we will continue with a different interesting topic associated with immune body. Thank you.